What is up, everyone? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Make sure you hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we'll go ahead and move forward. So first we'll be starting off with a video titled, "This Star Shows, conjones against Crybaby Liberal Agenda." It's a Newsmax video. It briefly skips on a few topics and whatnot, things going on. Talking about crying liberals. Actually, there's going to be a lot of that today. Then we have a video titled, "This Looks Like Something Out of Mad Max Movie," talking about Fentanyl Island out in California. I didn't even know that was a thing. So then I thought maybe there's a considerable amount of people out there that don't realize that's a thing. So we should all learn about it together. Out in Fentanyl Island, dead bodies and fires on a daily basis. And then we have a video titled, "Could breeding be one way to get cows to release less methane?" We're going to have some GMO cows. Why not? We've already genetically modified corn and half of our other food. Might as well just do the cows too, right? That makes sense if you're scared. If you're real scared. Then we'll be wrapping things up with some real propaganda titled, "Why is political violence in the U.S. at its worst since the 1970s? Their conclusion is the left only destroys property and the right destroy people. And so the right is far more dangerous than the left." And you'll see when we get there. It's something to behold. Either way, I'm going to read through the chat really quick, make sure everything is running smoothly. And we'll go ahead and get her started. I assume things are going to run better today. I sat here and tested it live on the website for 3 or 4 hours yesterday. I messed with the settings and everything, so hopefully things will run smoother than they have the last couple of days. Also, if you've been getting buffering on Rumble, hopefully that will clear up with these new settings. We'll see. I know it was running perfect on the website, so everybody that's on the website, you're good to go. What's up, Annette? What's up, Donna Sparks? What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys all being here on the website. Yeah, Annette. "Let cows eat grass, not grain, and they fart less." Yeah, nope, they're going to genetically modify them because for some reason that's going to be better. I don't know. Makes no sense to me. We'll get through it, though. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Astral Hammer? What's up, Podcast Gel? What's up, Pumpkin? What's up, Lifelike? What's up, Old BR? What's up, Girth? What's up, Shannon? What's up, Kurtz? What's up, Dudden? What's up, Melissa? What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom, all of you hooligans. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's see about Odyssey. Are we doing the thing? Oh, we're doing the thing. What's up, everyone over on Odyssey? Happy freedom. What's up, Sam? Appreciate you being here. What's up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, DeRosa? What's up, Tom Tom? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate you guys being over on Kick. We're looking good over on Twitch. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Grey Wolf? Happy freedom. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? Just in time. Oh, you know what YouTube's missing? A big fat Rumble link pinned to the top of the chat. This guy should watch on a better platform. Let's see. Ka-chow. There we go. Let's pin that to the top of the chat before I forget. What's up, everyone over on YouTube? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Frank? What's up, Gregory? What's up, Robert? Happy freedom. What's up, Bunny? What's up, Dutton? What's up, Damon Walker? What's up, Robert Jr.? What's up, Be a Blessing? Happy freedom. Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Spirit Matter? It's been a minute. What's up, TYR? TYR, I'm scared of lab meat. Me too. A couple weeks ago, or man, it might have been a couple months ago, we were covering a video where they were 3D printing fish meat. And I want to say I read an article where they discovered that that could cause cancer. I'm like, oh, really? Really? 3D printing meat's not good for you? Got God doesn't approve of that? Weird. What's up, P11? Happy Freedom. What's up, Ted? What's up, Blue Crow? What's up, Meowtin' Life? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Mike? All right, we're going to go ahead and get her started. On this first video titled, The Stars Showed Could... I don't know what that word is. Co-Jones? I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it. Maybe it's racist. God only knows. YouTube will let me know, though. With all their soft community guidelines. Either way, we're going to get this started. It's a plethora of topics being covered on Newsmax, so the title really doesn't matter. This is just a warm-up of things going on. We'll go about it like that. Get you a Screaming Goat t-shirt. Go ahead and do that right now. You can also get the cool shirt that I got on, the Bars and Stars Hooligan badge. I'll drop the link in the chat for the merch store, so you can go check out all the cool stuff we have over there. Coffee mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, stuff for women, stuff for men, because we're not the same. All right, let's get this started.
For news from the left, Washington Post, shameless as ever. The U.S. economy is great. Stop worrying about it is the headline there at the top. Stop thinking. Keep your eyes closed and vote for Biden, you rubes. The very first sentence in the article, is it possible for economic news to be a little too good? Geniuses of the Washington Post don't really understand that a solid economy is a delicate dance between economic activity and rapid inflation. You can't just dump rocket fuel on it like Biden did after the pandemic was over, because you gut the middle class as prices skyrocket. Not that the Washington Post would know that. Credit card debt in the U.S. just hit $1 trillion. Debt in general in this country is through the roof. Fitch just downgraded the U.S.'s credit rating because we're more than $30 trillion in debt. And just today, CNN reporting that Americans are pulling money from their 401ks at alarming rates just to get by. Yeah, the economy's too good over at the Washington Post. Again, just shut up, don't think, vote Biden. That should be on the top of the Washington Post newspaper every day. All right, up next, luxury car brand Porsche caught capitulating to the anti-God left in their new 60th anniversary ad for the Porsche 911. Company made the choice to edit out the Cristo Rei in Portugal, a statue of Jesus Christ that overlooks the city of Lisbon. Once people noticed, if you live there, you kind of notice that, oh yeah, it's not there. They questioned why the company had edited out the statue of Jesus Christ. Porsche released a statement quickly. In a previously uploaded version of the 911 ST launch film, a landmark was removed. This was a mistake, and we apologize for any offense caused. They always say it's a mistake. It's not a mistake. You did
Lying
it
makes you
intentionally.
weak.
We know you did. You had to. If you look at the ad now, though, well, Jesus Christ is back. There he is. Really speaks to the terror that the corporate world lives under from the left in this world. Imagine removing something that beautiful for no reason other than the fear of, people that hate God? And you're a major corporation, you're going to make that decision? Brilliant. These are the people that should be fired because they're so stupid. Up next, Grammy Award-winning singer Ne-Yo had this to say about parents allowing their young kids to change their gender.
Parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, and you just let him rock with that. If you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
But when somebody in Hollywood says something sensible, the crybabies lose it. In response, Ne-Yo's publicist freaked out and apologized for him on Twitter, writing, "I'd like to express my deepest apologies." Long statement pandering to the LGBTQ community. Turns out, though, Ne-Yo didn't approve that and is not somebody that's controlled like the rest of Hollywood. Went to Instagram and he retracted his publicist's apology.
And I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life.
I love somebody in Hollywood that's actually got cojones, because there's so few. Good for you, Ne-Yo. That's fantastic. I love that. Sticking to his guns.
Like I said, a little plethora of news there. Porsche accidentally removing Jesus from the background of their advertisement. They're like, oh, it's an accident. We accidentally removed this huge figure of Jesus behind these cables of that bridge that's in the foreground there, which is not easy editing. Even if you're using AI, there's lots of possibilities for mess ups and stuff there. But they just accidentally did that stuff. They accidentally went way out of their way and put a whole bunch of effort into accidentally editing out Jesus from the advertisement. I don't know. It sounds like some typical blue team stuff. So it sounds like to me. And then Neo, who's fairly soft himself, actually standing up for common sense. I'm telling you, I think things are turning around. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. What's up, Ghostly? See you sneaking in over here on the website. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to read through a chat really quick and see how everybody feels about that first video, and then we will move forward. Let's see. What's up, Sky Bear? Appreciate you being here. Dutton, gotta be careful. YouTube doesn't like hate facts. Yeah, I know. It should be alright. What's up, WTF? Happy freedom. What's up, Simply Witchy? Appreciate you being here. Ghostly, wish they didn't cut him off. It gets way better. I'm sure they edited the video because Newsmax is appealing to the viewers on YouTube. I wish YouTube would just disappear. I wish it would just disappear. It is the core of what's wrong with using the internet. Everything's so censored, and everybody's over on YouTube just taking in their diet news, diet information. I don't know. I'm really hateful towards the internet right now. I've been dealing with cyber attacks and whatnot all day. I'm just sick and tired of the internet. It's a terribly awful place. It's all flowered up to make you think it's nice and safe. Joe Lexi, awake, not woke. Yep, they're getting that way. They're getting that way. What's up, Addy? Happy freedom. Just flipping through the chat. What's up, Livid Review? Appreciate you being here. Happy freedom to you. Garlic Press, our local shopping mall has approved a satanic worship workshop for a week next month. Our country's officially down the toilet. Yep, they think it's really cool to be against God. But if you've ever read the Bible, you know that doesn't usually work out. It just normally that doesn't go very well. So I don't know if we'll see God smiting whole populations off the earth again, but we'll see. We'll see. Garlic Press, one of the liberal talking heads last night on the news show, didn't know that Porsche was made in Germany. He thought it was an Italian car. That's how stupid liberals are. Oh, yeah. No, they don't want to make sense. They just want to be right. That's why it never works out. Because they think thoughts and they're like, I must be right. They don't research anything. They don't look into anything. They're like, I'm right. And if you don't think I'm right, I'll become louder and more obnoxious until you believe that I'm right. And if you walk away, that means I'm right. Because they're just grown children. They're children that never matured into adulthood. You know, because when you have kids, your kids are socialists. They are, right? They live off of you. Everything they have is for free. If they never mature into being adults because they weren't raised correctly by their parents, then they just become adult socialists. And that's pretty much what liberals are. I deserve free things. I deserve to get paid more. I deserve to work less. I deserve to sleep 12 hours. I deserve a free house. I deserve free stuff. Because they never matured. They weren't raised right. And they're soft and stupid, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that's how things are going. Flipping through the chat a little bit more before we move forward. Hair juicer, Rumble was unwatchable yesterday, froze every 10 seconds. See, the hard thing about that is that people's view of how this works is very narrow. It is very narrow. So there's like, I don't know, 10 different browsers that are popular right now. There's Android, and then there's iPhone. There's Mac versus Windows. There's internet connection issues. There's installation issues with programs. So somebody could be having an error and I'm beating myself to death to fix it, and then really it's not something I can fix. I can't. It's very difficult. So that's why I worked on it yesterday, to make sure I could provide the clearest stream that I possibly can. But a lot of people are having issues with the app on Android, but they're not having the same issues with the app on iPhone. Same thing with joining the membership program, making donations. You can't do it from the app on Android, but you can from the app on iPhone. If you're using a browser, people were testing it out in the chat yesterday. They were having success using Mozilla to watch Rumble, but they were having issues using the Brave browser and watching Rumble. So it's like, just because you're experiencing issues doesn't necessarily mean that I'm providing a shitty stream. It's very complex. It is very complex. So it should be better today. I can't make promises, but if it isn't working correctly, you might have to either exit out of the app and use your browser or something like that. But either way, I don't think inconveniences is a solid excuse to support a company that is hurting more Americans than Bud Light or Target ever will. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I want you to be wherever you're comfortable, but fuck YouTube at the end of the day. And that's all I know. I don't know anything else. We're live in 9 locations, so if one doesn't work, there's plenty of options out there. What's up, Patriots Arc? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Ohio Kyle. Yeah, YouTube only allows diet news. It's not my fault. I wish it wasn't that way. I know that everybody's comfortable over there, and I know things run a little smoother over there, but, you know, doesn't make it all right. That's the same thing as the SS soldier saying, well, I'm just doing my job. Does that mean what they're doing was okay? No, it doesn't. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Dame Walker. It's like old man Walter. Adult children in diapers. Yep, old man Walter. He's beyond mature. He is beyond mature. You got to be careful. We're not supposed to say stuff about people in office. Can't talk about age in office at the same time. Not allowed to. It's a new community guideline on YouTube. And I'm not bullshitting you. That's for real. That's for real. That's what we traded out for talking about 2020 irregularities that happened. They claim that we can now talk about that, but you can't talk about how old somebody is that's in office. Robert, blame Canada. Yeah. And at the website always works. It does. The player on the website is directly connected to my software. So when I go live on the software, it automatically streams to the website, and it streams at the quality that I'm viewing right here on my desktop. Everywhere else, they get like secondhand signal. So the website is always good to go. It's always good to go over here. What's up, Matt? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being over here on the website. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward to this next piece of news here. It's titled, This Looks Like Something Out of a Mad Max Movie. Talk about Fentanyl Island. And I guess that's like really what they're calling it. This isn't some goofy line created by Fox News. They're really calling it that. So you can Google it or, look it up, and you will see specifically this environment here. I guess it's completely out of control. We're going to learn about this now if you haven't heard about it.
Welcome to Fentanyl Island, a drug-infested homeless encampment right in the middle of Oakland. The place looks like something out of a Mad Max movie. It is littered with scrap metal, used needles, and dozens of burnt-out cars. And it's not uncommon to see active fires and dead bodies. Sadly, Oakland has become ground zero for America's homeless crisis. It has the highest rate of homelessness in the entire country, with over 10,000 people on the streets. Jesse talked to a local activist about the lawlessness.
Dead bodies have been found multiple times in burnt-out vehicles, sometimes bodies that have been sitting there for days, unreported. So what we're seeing here are places that have become batch stations of human trafficking and rampant drug sales, and they've been allowed to exist by the city while Mayor gaslights us that things are not as bad as we believe them to be.
Jesse, what was it? Did he give you a sense? Did you ask about, like, number one, not only why, but what can we do to end this? I mean, this encampment here. I mean, we shouldn't be supporting this. It sounds like it almost like supported a bit.
Well, the mayor of Oakland has watched this decay, and they have spent $120 million a year over the last 5 years, and the population of homeless has doubled in Oakland. So they're actually spending money to increase homelessness, and they give the money to these nonprofits, and then the money disappears. So you give them money to Operation Dignity. They were supposed to build cabins, got a $60 million contract. No one went to the cabins. The cabins are all dead. And they did an audit, and no one can find out where the paperwork is. It's probably in that fire. So there's toxic fumes emanating from Fentanyl Island. There's dead bodies, and cartels now control all the drug sales in and out of the island. Gavin Newsom, it's right under his nose. He hasn't said anything about it. The mayor of Oakland's probably talking about reparations. This is what happens when you just take this hands-off, anything-goes approach and give drug addicts needles and legalize everything.
So that was...
So there it is. If you didn't know, that's Fentanyl Island out in Oakland. Yeah, let's let Newsom run the whole country. Let's just put him in the big office. I mean, I'd be so excited for all of America to look like that, right? I don't know how Blue Team can see shit like that and be like, yeah, we're doing a good job. More Blue Team. They hate America, and they hate Americans. That's why they put us in these conditions. There's no other excuse for it. I'll read through the chat and see what you guys think about it. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to feel if I was living in an area that looked like that. Matt, looks like a nice place to live. I'm saying. Just vehicles on fire. They're discovering dead bodies on a daily basis. Drugs in and out. Cartel controls the area. Who's had enough? Who's ready to like tap out on this? This is ridiculous. The country's being ran like total shit. I don't know. And then we're all just watching it happen. Like, I don't know why nobody does anything. I don't know how you could be a political figure in office with control over these kinds of things and just be like, nah, we'll just let it go. Whatever's whatever. It's all good. It's fine. We don't want to clean the area up. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I would want to improve the area, and then I would advertise the hell out of it and have everyone come to the area, bring all their money, all their jobs, all their resources, and we'd be balling. We'd be doing well. And I don't know why people don't want that. I don't understand. And you could say, well, you're going to attract all the bad people who want free stuff. Well, that's fine, because we're going to make the police arrest everyone. People who are breaking the law will be arrested and will be held accountable. So if we have shitheads that want to move to town because we're over here balling and glowing, standing tall and shining bright, and that attracts some evildoers, well, that's fine. They can, populate the jail. That'll be totally fine. Or the hospital, depending on if they want to comply with officers or not. Or the morgue, depending on how ignorant they are. It doesn't matter to me. We have laws. We have resources. We have everything we need to handle these kind of situations. They're just not being enforced. There is no accountability. And I would love to see some accountability being handed out. I would love to see that. Let's see. And that the money went to the politician's pocket. Absolutely. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. People are like, well, I got paid, so my job must be done. And that's all they think. Cassandra, it's sad to see people live like that. Meanwhile, politicians are getting richer from it. Yep. Making too much money doing a whole bunch of nothing. Serum, bring your hot women. Come to Hooligan Town. We do it better. Girth, I'm starting my own nonprofit called Operation Longstroke. Yep. Screaming Eagle, I'm gonna move there. Not. Well, eventually I figure they'll just burn everything down and they won't have anything to destroy. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll leave town, try and come burn our stuff down. Try that in a small town. I could hear everybody's fingers typing it out already. Try that in a small town. What's up, Tam Tam? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Just reading through chat really quick before we move forward. It sounds like I don't know if you guys can hear the yapping going on. Somebody sounds like they're beating their little dog outside. They better chill out. What's up, Speedy Girl? Happy freedom. You're not that late. You're not that late. Joe Lexi, God will have the last laugh. Absolutely. Absolutely. All these people that think it's really cool to turn their back on God, it's not a good trend. It's not a good trend. Anybody that's ever turned their back on God didn't survive it. And people are stuck in this mindset where you're either for something or against something. They don't believe in sidelines. And so people think if you're not for God, then you must be against God. But really, there is an in-between. The problem is that people are politicizing being against God. That's what's trendy. It's not that you should be for God or, nothing. People are pushing anti-God everything. Especially the left. Especially the left. If the left shows up, the first thing they do is tell you that Trump sucks. And if that doesn't wreck your day, then they start talking bad about God. And it's like, okay, well, you poor pathetic thing. You love old man Walter and the devil. And if it's not the devil, then you're just simply against God, which is the same thing as being for the devil. So it's like, well, you're a pathetic, loud, small thing. And you're over here attacking me, and I don't care. So what are we doing here? And that seems to be like the ongoing battle, is a whole bunch of that. Hey, thanks for being here, Lori. Appreciate you stopping in. Ghostly BLM march from Pittsburgh to DC and stopped in the middle of nowhere and started trashing a house. The homeowner shot them with birdshot. Nothing happened for a year, and then the feds came and arrested. Yeah. Oh, came and arrested him with no one was looking, even in a small town. Yeah. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. You're not allowed to stand against their agenda. Same thing is happening right now with border crossers. Border crossers come by, they destroy your stuff, they eat your dog, whatever happens, you smoke them, they're going to prison. They don't even have rights. I don't even understand how that works. I don't even understand how that works. They have no right to health and happiness. I don't know. It's not good. Doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be put in this position in the first place. That's the reality of it. We already have everything in place. We have laws and police officers and institutions and all kinds of stuff. It shouldn't be up to us to deal with this. We already pay taxes for this stuff to be taken care of, and we're still dealing with it. Doesn't make any sense. Now people are slamming doors in the hallway. It's going to be all cool until I start yelling, and then everybody's going to be like, oh, this asshole over here. Just reading through the chat really quick. DeRosa, Oakland wants residents to use air horns to thwart crime. Yeah, I don't think that's effective. I don't know. I could be wrong. Tom, I got an air horn, but it kind of pops rather than honks. I know my Hellcat barks. I know, it barks. You either know or you don't. That's a weird form of pepper spray. Like, yeah. Mr. Beansy Beans, did they renew you? What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I'm on like day 37 of wondering if they're going to renew my lease or not, because the people that run the apartment are just as corrupt as people that run the courthouse, and it's not good. It's not good. There's corruption everywhere, and it's beating me down, and just as much as it's beating everyone else down. When is enough enough? Snooks, I will be later on. What's up, Gidgy? Happy freedom. Oh, I can't remember what your name is over there in, I believe it's Japanese. It was like FJB or something like that. Do nothing Congress. I know. I don't even know why we have Congress. What the heck? Something's going on with the YouTube chat. It was overlaying comments. Are they having a moment over there? We're going to be moving forward in just a second. Everybody's saying they got kicked off the live. Oh, something must be going on. Oh, did my software crash? No, my software didn't crash. What is going on here? Unless I'm being trolled. I'm probably just being trolled. Or did I say too much? I don't understand what's going on here. Oh, I wonder if it's Twitter. I wonder if Twitter is kicking the bucket and that's pulling the bandwidth. Because Twitter was dead and then Odyssey or Rumble died. No problem on the website. I know. The website is solid. I just can't get anybody to go over there. Edward says it's like herding cats. We're good on Rumble now. I don't know. I'm watching it on Rumble. Should be good. I think it's Twitter. For some reason, after the service did the update, Twitter is just not. It just doesn't want to connect. It looks fine over on Odyssey. Ghostly says that Kick is the only one that's not frozen. I don't know. I don't know why that happened. I think it's Twitter though, and I don't monitor Twitter. Like, we're live on Twitter and it just is doing whatever over there. I don't monitor the chat or anything like that. But I wonder if that's what it is. If it goes down again, I won't reconnect Twitter. I'll leave Twitter right where it sits. Nobody watches on Twitter anyways. That's more for marketing than anything else. You got, well, see, only half of you are going to hear me. Okay, let me type in the chat. It is like herding cats. Okay. Okay. Are we good now? Drop a 1 in the chat so I know that we're all good so we can cover the next news before I just kick the bucket right here. I really think it's Twitter that screwed it all up. Serum, all platforms have been pausing for me recently. It's not just you. I get that issue when I watch on the Rumble app and I watch lives. It'll stop every few seconds, but I'll just go on the browser. I'll go on Brave and go over there and it's fine. But like I said, I worked on it yesterday to make sure it wasn't on my end. All these problems we've been having lately and stuff. And we were buffering and it was on my end and I didn't know it. And I did make some changes and stuff. And so we should be smooth now. But like I'm saying, this incident we're having here, this is something else. I think we're good now. It's hard fighting technology. You know how technology is. But then there's also censorship on top of it. So it's a guessing game. All right. I think we're good now. I'm seeing all the ones. We're solid. Good to go. Okay, we're going to cover the next thing. It's titled, Could Breeding Be One Way to Get Cows to Release Less Methane? I got to be real delicate with how I cover this because YouTube's community guidelines has problems with me talking about the weather, it's a big deal. They'll actually delete your whole channel for talking about it. I can't stand YouTube. One day we'll have enough people on all these platforms I won't have to go live on YouTube anymore. I already have been demonetized. All that's left is deleting me. All right. We're going to talk about cow farts. Let's get it.
Could breeding be one way to get cows to release less methane? Some scientists and industry experts think so. A genetics company is selling bull semen with a low methane trait. Methane is the second biggest greenhouse gas after carbon dioxide. Cattle release it when they burp. So could genetics help them belch less of it? Livestock make up more than 14% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. One University of Guelph estimate suggests Canadian dairy cows release up to 1.7 pounds of methane a day. To cope, New Zealand, for one, will start taxing farmers for cattle methane in 2025. In Canada, the low methane breeding material is a product of genetics company CMEX, the country's milk recording agency, and is based on research by Canadian scientists. CMEX says using the trait could bring down methane emissions from Canada's dairy herd by 1.5% annually, and that by 2050, that figure could jump as high as 30%. It says dairy farmers in Canada, Britain, the US, and Slovakia are trying it out. But not everyone is convinced this is the way to go. Some industry officials worry if cattle burp less, they could have digestion issues.
Well, I guarantee that video will end up getting cut out of the live because of stupid copyright music. Only on YouTube. Everywhere else is always solid, but YouTube makes me cut crap out of the live because they hit me with copyright flags. Just, I mean, how diet do you want your news, really? But they're out here trying to make GMO cows, genetically modify some cows so they fart less. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like a good idea to me. That doesn't sound like that makes sense. And then on top of that, they're saying they're going to tax farmers now for having cattle. They already do this kind of stuff to businesses. Like, if you're running a business and you have physical products and you have inventory, and say you buy the inventory in 2023, right? And the year ends, you start the next year, you got to go file taxes. You have to pay tax on your inventory. Well, then say in 2024, your inventory doesn't change, right? You have a slow year. You don't do very well. You don't sell a lot of product. The year lapses. You got to pay taxes again. You have to pay tax on that inventory again, even though you already pay tax on that same inventory, those same items, that same stock you have in your warehouse. You have to pay tax on that every year, even if it's the same items that have already been taxed. You have to do it every year. And now they're going to do that to farmers for cattle because they fart. Are they going to do that to everyone? Because cats farts and dogs do too. Are we going to have to pay tax for having pets? And if so, how are they going to document how many pets we have? Are they going to tax us for this? Kids fart. They're going to be like, how many kids you got? Guess what? Taxing you $1,000 per child because your kids fart and it's wrecking the weather. I don't know. It's like we're not talking about the same planet. It's like we're not talking about the same world here. I don't know where these people get these ideas. This stuff sounds totally crazy. How much money do you need? How much do you really need to tax us? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And I was reading a reply to something else. I'm read through the chat really quick before we move forward. Matt Glock owns a company that sells bull semen. Really? I don't know much about Glock. I don't own a Glock. I know they're fairly reliable. You pretty much put one in cement, crack it open with a sledgehammer, and still use it, but I just don't have one. And don't stand behind a cow when they sneeze. You'll get splattered. I don't mess with cows. I don't mess with cows just like I don't mess with horses. They freak me out. Man eaters. Just ran through chat really quick. Joe Lexi, a bunch of BS. Yeah. And it's not just hurting the stuff that we've already listed. In California, where they have laws and fines and fees for every little thing that could be considered, I gotta worry about how to phrase it because YouTube's watching me. Anything that's traditional, right? Anything that's not an electric car pretty much gets taxed or gets fined or feed or whatever. So now there's like car ferries and stuff like that are being told that by 2025 they're not allowed to exist unless they can convert to electric only. And we covered an article about it, I don't know, a month or so, 6 weeks ago or something. They were saying that a lot of these car ferries would be $2, $3, $4 million a piece to convert into electric vehicles or whatever they would be considered submersible. No, they're not submersibles. You know what I'm saying. And they can't afford to do that. So then they have to just decommission that service, which certain businesses, that's their whole service, is to run these ships that run on coal and all of that. Well, they're not allowed to do that in California. And so there's businesses that are going to go out of business because they can't afford to convert the ships to comply with these new laws and requirements, policies, whatever they are. And so now that service isn't going to be available. It's like we're moving back. Like we're not evolving, we're devolving. We're going to lose resources and stuff because of requirements, because of policy, because of goofy laws and stuff like that. And now they're going to tax people for having cattle on property that they already tax. I can't stand any of that stuff. Like you buy a car, you pay tax when you buy the car, but then you got to get a plate on the car, and you got to renew that every so often. Then you got to put a sticker on the plate that you put on your car that's all been paid for, and you got to pay that every year. It's on top of the insurance that you already pay. I've never had an insurance claim. I'm 34. I've been paying for insurance since I was 18. I've never used it. Pay for it every month. What is that for? What's that for? That should cover my oil change, new tires, new brakes every year, simple maintenance that goes with your car. Your car insurance should absolutely cover that, because otherwise what is it for if you never use it? But the law says you have to have it unless you live in Alabama or somewhere down there where insurance isn't required. But they do that to our land. Now they're going to do it to our food that's walking around farting and stuff. And it's just, how much money do you need? Because you're not giving us what we need. You're not protecting the border. You're not protecting us from bioweapons that are coming from foreign countries and hurting us. You're not protecting us. You're not doing anything we need. Look at homeless people. Look at veterans. Look at mental problems going on. Mental illness is a big deal right now. Look at the drug addicts running around. Look at the human trafficking that's happening. Like, what are we paying the government for? What are they for? They're supposed to be doing this stuff. They're supposed to be regulating stuff and making sure that this stuff is happening. So we have a right to health and happiness. Happen. What are we paying the government for? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, Miss Jamie. I can't say that phrase out loud though. YouTube will strike me. We're like this close to just going live on YouTube and going, hey, this is what we're covering, and then just shutting YouTube off. We're like so close to it. Let's see. Let's run through chat really quick. Joe Lexi, it's money laundering. I believe it. I believe it. Melissa, one thing I don't like about South Carolina is they property tax your car every year. That's what I'm saying. Like, they could just come up with whatever they want, any kind of reason they want to tax us. I don't know. It makes me bitter. It makes me bitter. You make money, they tax it. You spend money, they tax it. It's like they're just taxing everything, but they're not giving us what we're owed back. The tax isn't just to have tax. It's to pay for everything. The roads we drive on and all that stuff. That's what our tax is for. Well, everything's shit. The schools are shit. The roads are shit. The border's shit. The crime is running rampant. Supposed to be like, what are we paying police officers for if they tell the police officers not to make arrests? It just doesn't make any sense. DeRosa, did you hear about the face peeler aliens in Peru? I did not. I have not heard that. I'm kind of surprised that people aren't hoping more for an alien invasion. See, when you talk about zombie apocalypse, people get excited because they want to see structure just fall all the way down. Instead of just watching the slow burn, they want to see just society crumble and then let out the frustration on the zombies that you would be within your rights to shoot. And so people are like, yes, we need that. Bring on the zombie apocalypse. I'm tired of going to work. I'm tired of paying bills. I would like to let off some freedom seeds and battle a real threat face to face. Get my hands dirty. People get excited about that. They released information about aliens. People are like, that's not real. Like, I wish it was real. I wish it was, because people would stop worrying about stupid stuff. You wouldn't be worried about racism if there was UFOs hovering, right above the surface of the earth with big ships the size of Texas. You'd be like, what is racism? You wouldn't be worried about cow farts if that was going on. And that's what I think makes most people believe that something big is about to happen, because it seemed like people were not getting along and 9/11 happened, and then all of a sudden we were brothers and sisters and everybody had a flag on their porch and all this stuff, and we were all united against, hijacked planes and all that stuff, and it brought us all together. The catastrophe brings us together. The chaos brings us together. And we are not together. We are not united right now. And so I wonder, just like many other people, are we going to have a catastrophic event that is all of a sudden going to bring on unity? I have no clue. Thank you so much, Mr. Beansy Beans, for the 1,000 bits. I appreciate all the support, Mr. Beansy Beans. Thank you. You're awesome. Flip it through the chat really quick before we move forward. Spirit Matter, they use taxes to de-incentive people from buying and doing things. Yeah, that's why most people don't start their own business. The number one reason that people don't do anything is doubt. Doubt has killed more dreams than failure ever will. And they don't think that they're smart enough, or they're too worried about the repercussions of the IRS and stuff to go start their own business. And because people don't start their own business, they're trapped being an employee, because school just teaches you to be an employee. School is do what you're told, shut your mouth, and sit down. That's all it is. Step back. Don't think for yourself. Don't take initiative. You do what you're told, you shut the hell up, and you sit down somewhere. And that's what work is. Work's the same thing. Shut your mouth and do what I tell you to do. That's it. Do not do any more. Even if it helps the business, even if it makes things run smooth, even if it saves money, don't do anything I didn't tell you to do or you're fired. It doesn't matter how it benefits the store. Look at stores being robbed, right? And the employees go to interfere with the thieves pulling merchandise out of the store. Now, I understand liability insurance and you don't want a claim to happen because somebody got injured while you were tackling a thief stealing all your stuff. But any kind of prevention of them stealing stuff, the store's like, I didn't tell you to do that. You're fired. We've covered so many stories like that. Exactly like that. Because that's what you're trained to do. You're a robot. You're a biological robot. You were born to pay taxes and to work your life away. And that's it. If you become self-employed or an employer of some sort where you have other employees, you're a lot more free than everyone else. You have a lot more control over your money than everyone else. And the government doesn't want everyone to do that, because then you're self-empowered. They don't want that. So they don't teach you how to become self-employed. They don't teach you how to pay taxes. And that's why they don't teach you to pay taxes. They want you to pay taxes. But if they don't tell you how to do it, then there's a chance you'll screw it up as an employee. And not only will you keep paying a whole bunch of tax money off of your check, but if you screw it up, they'll fine you or even put you in prison and get more money off of you. And that's why they want it that way. Because if you actually knew about how taxes work, you'd become self-employed. You'd take something that you are good at or something you like doing, and you would turn it into a job. You would learn to do marketing and advertisement and branding. You would put yourself out there as a service or a business, and community would go on. Things would work. And almost like medieval times, everyone had a trait. Everyone had to have a purpose, or you didn't get to eat. That's all there was. You had to be a blacksmith, or you had to be a farmer. You had to know how to make clothes. You had to know how to do things to support your community and be a member of your community. Now, people are like, well, I'll just go get a job at McDonald's. But then they bitch about their check and stuff like that. And it's like, really, you could be contributing to the community. You could be providing a service or a skill to the community that doesn't already exist in your area. But then you think, I don't know how to pay taxes. I don't know how to form a business. What if I mess something up? What if I get in trouble? What if somebody has a slip and a fall in my business and I get sued? And all that doubt comes in, storming like storm clouds comes in, and you're like, nope. And you give up before it even starts. And it's by plan. That stuff is like that by plan. I don't know. You got to take that leap. That's the only way to get through it. What's up, Warcry? Geez, what are you on your third account? Is YouTube cracking down on you? Cheeky chaps. Alright, read through the chat a little bit more before we move forward. We only got this one video left, and it is propaganda. And I gotta try and see if I can mute this spot where they talk about J6, because that video's flagged, and they don't flag me, they give me strikes. Let's see. Matt, those aliens don't want to come here. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Why would they want to come here? It's a bunch of miserable human beings working their life away, not making enough money, starving to death, being homeless, taking drugs, fighting with each other, worried about skin color, while the government just rubs their hands like Birdman, making a whole bunch of money and grinning at us. What is the aliens going to do? It doesn't look like a good time. I mean, that's a hard sell right there. The aliens show up and they're like, nah. We don't want no part of that. That's enough. People turn their wiener inside out, mutilating their kids and stuff. Aliens are like, nah, they're not doing good. We'll come back later. Let's read through the chat really quick. Ghostly, the plague killed mom and pop shops. Yep. Yeah. Michigan, yeah. Michigan was really bad for that stuff. Whitmer had us locked down. It's like we started the lockdown before anyone else, and we were the last ones to come out of the lockdown. Whitmer's like, just take it all in. Act like you're in prison, because if I had the choice, I'd put you all in prison. So we'll just lock you down and leave you there. There was a couple businesses that fought against that, and the government came and shut them down. There was a woman who had a business. I think she had a restaurant, and she refused to close, and they kept threatening her, and they ended up incarcerating her, and she raised like $40,000 or something through a GoFundMe to pay the fees that they were charging her. And after she ended up paying off, like, I don't know, something crazy, like $80,000 in fines for staying open, they went and like pulled her food safe certification license. So she couldn't even run the business anymore. And then they threatened her with prison time. They were like, you will stop one way or another. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do a mob hit on her. I'm surprised she didn't get Hillary Clinton, because they were really pushing against her. State police coming to the store every day, trying to shut her down. It was bad. It was really bad. Who even knows what happened to that person? Just like we were talking about earlier, that was all eyes on me at the time. Now it's been a couple of years. The government could have came in and smoked that individual for standing up, for her rights, and we don't even know about it. We just got cut on YouTube. I don't know. I'm so tired of the technical crap. Ms. Jamie, when the president declares an emergency, it gives him a lot of extra power. Yeah, that's why they didn't want to end the Emergency Act, because while we're in a state of emergency, we don't have rights. And so they can do whatever they want to us, and there's nothing we can do in return. And that's why they didn't want to get rid of it. But after a while, Because it wasn't even that long ago. I think it was in May is when they ended the Emergency Act. What's up, J Bell? Happy freedom. Hey, I appreciate you being here, MU. Happy freedom, DCat. What's up, Sky Anomalies? Happy freedom. What's up, Nefties? Everybody's just pouring in. Oh, did YouTube really kick the bucket? Is that what happened? And everybody's coming to Rumble now, or what? I don't know. I'm still live over there. No, Matthew says no. I don't know. Salt Ragu says 5x5. Right below it, Matthew saying no YouTube. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna just ignore it. I'm gonna do my best to ignore it. I can't make the whole show about technical support. Annette, was it? I don't know if you're talking to me or not, Annette. Okay, you're not talking to me. Ghostly, where I live, no one enforced the lockdown, so only corporate locations shut down. All the leftist tears were salty sweet. It was bad here. It was bad here. People were like fist fighting the door greeters at Walmart because they would physically stop you from coming in if you didn't have a compliance cloth on. And you only got to smoke those old ladies once or twice, and they stopped that. They stopped that. I remember going through and just holding my body cam. I'd go through and they'd come up, sir, blah, blah. And I'd be like, yeah. And it has this flashing red light on my chest. I'm like, yeah, what's your name? And then they would turn their back. They would just turn and put their back to me. And I would just walk in. What are you going to do? I got you on camera. We're going to watch this footage of me whooping your ass. That's what's going to happen. Making punches in the face great again. One jaw at a time. You want to be first today or what? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. My campaign is going to be badass when I run for president. It's going to be badass. I hope you guys are looking forward to it. Yeah, this next video is going to be, it's going to be rough. So I'm just putting a little space on there because it is full-blown propaganda to let you know that right-wing people are violent against people and left-wing people are violent against property. And so, therefore, the right-wing people are bad people. And this goes all the way back to the white supreme pizza that the Pentagon's always talking about. And it's Reuters. And it seems like the last 3 or 4 videos that we've covered from Reuters has just been shit tacos. I don't know. They cry real hard on Reuters now. I used to be able to get decent lives and footage, but now it seems like everything comes out of there is really left-wing and soft. Real soft. So prepare for this soft moment here. There's going to be a moment, I'm going to try and time it correctly, but there's going to be a moment where I'm going to have to mute it because they say J6 and you can't do that. Can't do that. I know you guys don't believe me, so here's the blue banner. Okay, see that goofy little blue banner of censorship right there? They don't give me blue banners. They give me strikes, and I can't go live for a week or 2 weeks, and they threaten to delete my account and stuff, so I can't risk it for the biscuit. So I'm going to try and do some funny little stuff here. So if you hear it cut out for a second, if you hear the audio cut out, just know I'm doing that on purpose. It's going to be very brief, though. We'll see if I can time it right. Either I'm going to make it and it's going to work, or I'm going to mess it up and I'm going to get a strike, and everybody's going to have to come watch me on Rumble for a week. So, see how it goes. Let's get her started.
Butler County 911, where's your emergency?
My name is Kristen King.
All right, Kristen.
My husband was just shot.
This is Kristen King calling 911 after her next-door neighbor, Austin Combs, had come over and shot her husband, Anthony King, in the backyard.
Do you often have problems with him? Has this been an ongoing thing?
He's come over like 4 times confronting my husband because he thought he was a Democrat.
She tells the 911 operator that Austin Combs had come over several times previously and accused her husband of being a Democrat.
Cannot believe this just happened. He's definitely gone. I cannot. He's the love of my life.
This case was among more than 200 instances of political violence that we documented since the January 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol by supporters of Donald Trump. And what we found is that these cases that we identified are consistent with what many experts say, which is that we are right now in this country in the midst of a prolonged state of political violence. We found 213 cases that we identified as political violence, and that would be violence that was rooted in a partisan or election dispute, or attacks that were clearly motivated or committed in service of a political ideology or an ideal. Out of those 213 cases of political violence that we identified, there were 18 incidents that proved fatal, and 39 people died in those cases. What we found was that when that violence turns deadly, and when you can identify a particular ideology with the person who is alleged to have committed that crime, that more often than not, those are people who had sort of right-wing ideologies. Now, we also documented many cases of what we call property violence. So that would be the kind of violence where you would see shattered storefronts, rocks through windows, burned cars, and that kind of violence is more often associated with the left. So you've got this kind of fatal violence, which seems to be more likely to be perpetrated by people on the right, and then you've got this sort of substantial property violence, and that tends to be perpetrated more by people on the left. Austin himself was a very sort of conservative, kind of politically right-leaning person. He was, by his lawyers' accounts, a mentally troubled young man. He had spoken at the bar about being upset because he thought that his neighbor was a Democrat. In fact, his neighbor wasn't a Democrat, but he was worked up about that. We are in this incredibly divisive period right now, where you have political opponents who are no longer just divided by their positions on particular issues. Now you have people in each party sort of demonizing the other, characterizing them as enemies of the people, as traitors against the country. And we especially saw a lot of this around the 2020 election. But even since the election, many people thought that things would sort of cool down. But what we've seen is that, there's still a substantial amount of political violence going on. And a lot of it is sort of morphed over into these sort of hot button political and cultural issues.
Well, I told you it was some propaganda. Propaganda panda. It was. I think I got it. I think I timed that little mute real quick. I think I got it. I went and listened to it on YouTube, so I think we'll be good. We'll fly under the radar. It's all good. Either way, I told you. He showed Patriot Front and all kinds of random aggressive scenes of camera footage. It looked like the J6 committee all over again. And claimed that when right-wing people are involved in political violence, it becomes deadly. They generally attack people. And then they use that one instance as the whole theme. This crackhead walked over next door because he thought his neighbor was a Democrat and shot him in the backyard. Because he thought he was a Democrat. There's no other context. There's no other context. It wasn't that he actually did something wrong. This guy, supposed right-wing leaning so-and-so, who looked like a total mess. He's either a meth head or maybe, like Annette's saying, maybe he's having mental issues going on. But he just went next door and just smoked his neighbor. Why? Because he thought he was blue team. That sounds made up. And then they show the J6 footage for the majority of the video to push the narrative that if you're right wing, you're pro-violence against people. You want to see other people hurt and you'd like to do it yourself. Then they, for a brief moment, show Antifa standing face to face with the police, not really doing anything, just standing there as if they're panhandling or something. And then says the left tends to break windows and destroy property. And then they just go back to right-wing people want to murder everybody. They're causing, mass killings. They're out there on a killing spree every Saturday. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. So they're keeping the lies flowing over on Reuters, which I think is really crazy. It's really crazy because they were there covering it. There was many times where we were watching a protest and we were watching BLM and Antifa hurting people, burning crap down, pulling people out of cars at gunpoint, throwing piss bottles and everything else, fighting against marshals, throwing anything and everything at that federal building, and people were being injured and people were being killed, and yes, they were destroying property, but they were mad at people. They were fighting with people. They were even fighting with each other. Like, you would see a mob of them go after somebody, and if one of their included Antifa people tried to stop it, like, no, leave the old lady alone, don't gang stomp her into the cement, well, then they would turn on that person too. So I don't know why they're trying to paint it like Antifa and all the lefties out there are just mentally stable and really disciplined on making sure that they're only destroying property and they've never hurt a fly in their life. They would never hurt a living thing. It's full-blown propaganda. We were there. We seen it. We seen it. We're a bunch of liars. And at the left are the ones who like violence of all kinds. Yeah. It is true. It is true. The lefties are always offensive. They're always offensive. They claim it's in defense of oppression and stuff like that, but then they can't never prove it because they don't ever make sense. So they just squawk and scream and get loud and attack people for what they think. They make assumptions about things and then they go and attack it. They're like a I'm trying to think. They're like an Oscar. If you've ever seen a fish, it's a fish. Oscar is a fish that's got teeth. But it's the same thing. It's like, what is that? And it just tries to nail you. It's like a wild animal out there. And that's how the left is. They just see something, they assume something, and then they attack it. And a lot of conservatives are just like, hey, I don't want no part of this. And then they get bullied, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to have to fight back because you won't stop. You won't stop messing with me. And then all of a sudden, old man Walter comes out and he's like, because of white supreme pizza, we're going to have to send 1 billion doll hairs across the seas because, stuff. Come on, man. And then that's it. Everything's wrong with America, white supreme pizza. Don't you worry about that border or inflation or any of that other stuff that we've already talked about extensively. Don't worry about that. No, it's white supreme pizza. That's what you got to worry about. Makes no sense. Keep spinning those stories so nobody knows what's actually happening around us. What's up, Dance Master? Happy freedom. The guy was talking like he was really saying something. He's like, well, the left. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, dude, are you new here? You obviously don't know what's going on. Yeah, Sky Anomalies, it is. That whole video was propaganda. I like playing those propaganda videos, though. Just to see the lies they're telling soft, stupid people that believe it. You know what they say, keep your friends closer, your enemies closer. DCAT, the left enjoys shape-shifting action from behind. They do. They love it. They love it. They're writing books about it and everything. Taryn, making me hungry for pizza. Daryl, white supreme pizza rolls. I love that. Never even thought of that. That's awesome. White supreme pizza rolls. I'm telling you, we're doing all the branding. And Hot Pocket's about to come out with some new stuff, and they're going to steal all these great ideas we got here. Feed it to the lefties. Get your new white supreme pizza Hot Pocket today. It makes the oppression hurt less. I don't know. They'll be buying it up. Mom, you got any of those new Pop-Tarts? Or Pop-Tarts, those new Hot Pockets? I need me a white supreme pizza Hot Pocket. I need it stat. Right now, Mom. Mom's upstairs doing fentanyl. I better stop. I'm gonna get myself in trouble with YouTube. DeRosa with the orange crust. Just like we like it. Yeah. Let's read through the chat really quick. What's up, Double OJ? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Matt sounds like another Jesse Smollett. Yeah. They gotta cry hard. That's the only way they feel like their voices are heard, is when they cry really hard. Proud Patriot Girly. Not only does Antifa attack people, but they dox them as well, and it ruins people's lives, and they get away with it. That's very true. That's very true. I didn't even think about that. Antifa is very big about doxing. There's some live streaming asshole out there that is a little frou-frou for me, and he stuck my face and name on a list, and he has intentions of doxing me and other live streamers that covered the Freedom Convoy when that was going on, and it has intentions of doxing me and giving my information to Antifa as a hit, to put a hit on me. Well, good luck to them, because I live in a small town. I will say that. I live in a small town. I tell you, if a van pulled up with 10 people looking like ninjas coming out with firearms or sticks or fireworks or mom's lingerie, whatever they got, and they come out here trying to attack somebody, not only will everyone witness them just getting blown away, but they will give a round of applause, because nobody here wants that. Nobody here where I live wants to see a mob of people go and attack a house or a store or an individual that is standing there with their kids or with their family or even on their own. That stuff's not going to be tolerated here. And people are high tension. They are high tension. Like, I've been at gas stations where somebody puts a beer on the counter and the clerk's like, I need to see ID, and this person has a full-blown meltdown right there because they do not want human interaction. They're here to buy beer and go home and forget about their problems, because people can't stand being alive right now. Nobody wants to watch a group of lefties show up and attack somebody around here. They will help you bury the bodies. Like, that stuff ain't happening here. So I don't know why that person tried to put my name on a list. I'm over here in Michigan. They want to bring me into it. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be soft, stupid, and pathetic. I don't know what it's like, but I see it from a distance. I see it. My soul weeps for them. Cassandra, college-age adults seem to be completely brainwashed with all the leftist nonsense. I agree. Some of them are turning around, though. When we were covering things back in 2020, you didn't see a member of Antifa that was over 25. Never. It seemed like all the patriots, all the conservatives were all older, and all the young people were a bunch of dumb lefties out there screaming and crying, and they were having trouble breathing and stuff. And so that was going on. But now that so much time has passed, it seems like a lot of people are waking up. The young people are still stupid because they don't know anything yet. Like I said, they're socialists. Until you get out of high school, you're pretty much a socialist. You don't know what it's like to work and earn things. Nothing you have in your life is really yours. It was provided to you by your parents or by the school or, things like that. So you go straight from high school as a young socialist into college, where they're brainwashing you, telling you that everything that's wrong with your life and everything that makes you mad is because of racism and it's somebody else's fault. And you're a dumb socialist, so you don't know any different. Unless you had decent parents that poured into you and was like, hey, you're going to work for a living, you're going to earn things. And even at a young age, make you do chores, give you incentives to work, so you know what it's like. Because when you're in the real world, there's no handouts. There's no actual handouts. You have to work. You will have to do something in order to get something in return. And so some parents, they have chores and, make you mow the lawn and stuff like that. Nowadays, people are telling you that they're oppressed. We've covered articles that talk about how these young, stupid, soft people believe they are being oppressed by their parents because they have to do chores, or they have a time limit where they need to be indoors when the street lights come on, or they have to go to school every day on time and be home after school. They think that's oppression. And then they go to these goofy colleges that are telling them, you're right, buddy, you are being oppressed. And they're like, I knew it. It's messed up. It's messed up. And then we got all that weird stuff going on in the schools on top of that, all the books that are being banned and whatever, because they're Rainbow Crew. Plus, it's a bunch of shape-shifting stuff. I don't know. If there was ever a time to homeschool your kids, it's right now. And don't just homeschool them so they know how to read, write, and do math, but let them know. Read the Constitution to them. Let them know their rights. Let them know that they need to work and earn things. Break them of that socialism mentality as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. Raja, God forbid you got to go to work. I know. And I see that on TikTok every single day. I see some young 20-year-old boy or a girl crying about how they have to work 40 hours. You expect me to work 40 hours? Blah, blah, blah. What do you mean? You work 40 hours, you still won't be able to afford to live anywhere. So, that's what you should be worrying about. And that's how you know it's a socialist mindset. Because they don't even realize. They think that they have to work 40 hours because they signed up for a full-time job. Wait till you have 40 hours on the schedule, you work it, and you still can't afford to eat, feed your kids, or pay rent, and your employer won't even give you more than 40 hours. Then what do? Then you're in a whole nother mess of problems. You're worried about working 40 hours. That's because you don't have responsibilities. That's because you're probably not even taking care of yourself. You probably are mooching off someone else, and you're bitching about your 40 hours because you want to go hang out with your buddies at the mall or whatever people do nowadays. And it's like, people who actually have responsibilities and actually have stuff to lose, most people are not surviving working 40 hours a week. I live in this little shitty apartment, and when I was working at the factory 60 hours a week, making the same amount of money that dishwashers make at McDonald's, I was coming home, eating, shitting, showering, and going back to sleep so I could wake up and go to work again the next day because I didn't have enough free time or energy or money to do anything. And then at the end of the month, I had to use credit cards to pay rent because 60 hours a week at a factory wasn't enough. And I was making more than any other job around here. So it's like, they get on there and they're like, I don't want to work 40 hours a week. No one does. Guess what? No one does. Nobody wants to work 40 hours a week. But people like to eat. They like to have a place to live. They don't want to watch their kids starve. They might have a cat or a dog they got to feed. They got to keep gas in the car. They got to pay all the damn tax for everything. Nobody wants to work 40 hours a week. Get over it. Now, these young people, they're going to collapse our infrastructure. That's what's going to happen. Not everybody's going to be able to make it living in a van selling feet pics. Like, that's not going to be for everybody. We're going to be reading through chat really quick. That is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. I'll be lucky if I don't catch a strike. I was a little too spicy today. My apologies, YouTube. Don't come crucify me yet. Just reading through your chat really quick before we wrap this up and do the Pledge of Allegiance and all of that. That individual, he should be locked up. He's a stalker. He should be institutionalized. He's got all kinds of problems. DCAT, exactly. That's what's wrong with the education. They indoctrinate socialism, and then these kids go out into the real world and they don't have a clue. It's true. And then they feel like everyone's being mean to them. They're like, hey, can you hand me that screwdriver? And they're like, whoa, why are you so aggressive right now? Can you please talk to me with a little bit more respect? And you bring your tone down a little bit? Okay, you don't own me. I'm not property of you. Blah, blah. No, just fuck it. I'll get my own screwdriver. Just get out of the goddamn way. I don't know. And I also think a part of that is growing up without a dad. I think most kids, when you have a father figure, dad ain't always happy. Dad ain't always willing to put up with your bullshit. You run in the room, Dad, look. Hold on a second. You're going to wait. You're going to wait till I'm doing what I'm doing. Then I'll pay attention to your stupid little bullshit. And that gives you a sense of order, a sense of structure of how things are supposed to work, that it's not all about you. that we all have our own stuff going on and you need to wait your turn. That kind of structure. Because that's kind of what dads do. They lay down the law, and moms kiss your boo-boos and make everything better. You need both. You need both. You need sometimes you need to be disciplined. Sometimes you need to be built back up and repaired by a mother's love, right? But we don't have that because they're getting rid of family. They're taking family off the board as a goal. People no longer are growing up thinking, well, I want to get married and have a family and have a house and a dog and a car and we're going to all function together and it'll be great. That's not even in the picture anymore. That's nowhere on the scoreboard. People are not looking for that anymore. But they run into all these other problems. Tons of problems. Can't afford bills. You don't have enough people to take on the responsibilities of everyone in the house. Kids aren't being taken care of correctly. Either they're being raised by a single dad, which may be a little bit too hard-handed 100% of the time because there's no mom there to soften things up, or they're being raised by a mother 100% of the time, and it's all soft dealings, and there's no structure there. There's no one doing the discipline and stuff. Both is not good. You need both. You know, it takes two to make a kid, takes two to raise a kid, takes a whole village to raise a kid, honestly, but we don't have that anymore, and it's not even being portrayed as a goal. Not even kind of close. You don't ever hear anyone talking about how family matters, that family values are important, that it's important to have mom and dad in a home. How many people do you see that are single parents? Because they don't care. There's no drive. You know, moms are always talking about deadbeat dads, and dads are talking about whores of moms and all this stuff, and it's just, we're all divided. We're all divided. And kids are growing up in that, and they're like, well, I don't want no part of this. So then they don't even strive to have a family, which makes it even easier to be like, well, maybe I should turn my wiener inside out. I ain't got to worry about having a family anyway. It's all done by design. This didn't happen by accident. This is all done in purpose. They are knocking down the dominoes in order. All right, I'm going to read through chat really quick and we're going to wrap this up before I go on any further. Welcome to my TED Talk. Serum, you got a Glock 43? What? I've never heard of that. Are you trolling me? Sounds like the new iPhone or something. Oh, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. You ain't trolling. It's sweet. I think it's sweet. Serum. How can I say this without getting a strike? Bigger people fart tax should cover us. That's the best way I could say it. Serum, that might be the thing. I'm telling you, they're going to start taxing us because kids fart and stuff. And they're going to be like, hey, how many kids you got? You got to pay your kids fart tax. You got cats too? They fart too. We're going to have to pay tax on that. It's messed up. DeRosa, more than that die in South Chicago every weekend. Talking about that video with the lefties and right wing people. It's true. And they don't ever want to talk about that. They don't ever want to talk about that. Because it totally diminishes the whole idea of white supreme pizza being the major problem in our country. Salted ragu, but I like beans. You got to pay that bean tax. You got to pay that tax for that magical fruit. What's up, Kristen? Appreciate you being here. Happy freedom. What's up, Impreza? Happy freedom. Not yet. Rona. We're not afraid of Antifa. No. Bunch of meth head 20-year-olds. I am really tired of the cyber attack stuff, though. It's like getting out of hand. There's like stuff going on that I don't even understand how these people are even getting this job done. I gotta be careful what I say because they monitor the live. They monitor what I say to try and figure out how to get into my platforms and stuff. But it's not just me. It's everybody's going through this. And it's, I don't know. It's crazy how unsafe on the internet we are. But at the same time, everything is going digital. I mean, they want us participating in virtual reality at this point. So I'm dropping the Linktree link in the chat for you guys to take advantage of if you'd like to get a cool hooligan shirt like I got on, or if you'd like to make a donation using the donation links, join the membership program or anything like that, you are welcome to do so. Just scroll around on the Linktree. All of the links are there. But I ask you to go and join Gilded. Gilded is free, the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live and all of that. There's a ton of hooligans in there to chat it up and have an ongoing discussion, kind of like you are right now, about things going on around the world or just talking about your day, whatever you prefer. But definitely go join Gilded. It keeps us all together in case something happens. And we're all in the know and we're all on the same page. So definitely go join Gilded. It is free. It does have like an application process, and I should probably talk more about that. You don't have to actually fill anything out, but you do have to submit the application. I have that because of cyber attacks. When I have the door wide open, people dump bots into my Gilded, and then they try to post things that are inappropriate and against community guidelines, trying to get my server taken down. Last time I had to hand delete 15,000 bot accounts from my Gilded, and it took 3 hours, and I'm not going to do that again. So when you go to join Gilded, it does say like complete the application or something like that, but I believe it's optional, so you shouldn't have to write anything. If you do, just write whatever you want in the chat, no matter how hilarious it is, and submit the application, and I'll approve it. So just so you know, that's a thing, because I think the application process scares people away. I think they're like, oh, I want to try Gilded, and then they get there and they're like, well, I don't want to apply, I just want to be there. So that's why it's there. It's a deterrent for bots. All right, hooligans. I dropped the Linktree link for all of you. Take advantage of that. Right now, it's that time again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's see. I think we're all good. I'm going to read through the chat really quick, make sure everybody is good to go, and then we are going to wrap this up. I will be live again, 8 p.m. Eastern time for some gaming. If you want to join us for Jeff Mac Gaming, you can find it at the bottom of the link tree. Come hang out with us, have fun, forget about the problems that the world has given us just for a couple hours or so. It's just for fun. It's just for fun, no big deal, just a reason to hang out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time for another Coffee with Hooligans. I'll read through the chat really quick, make sure we're good to go, and we're wrapping this up. Yeah, I appreciate you, Pumpkin. J Bell, yeah, if you go to yesterday's live here on any platform, if you go to yesterday's live, as long as it's not on YouTube, because we couldn't talk about it on YouTube, so the link is not on YouTube. But if you go to yesterday's live, go down in the description. I have the link for what happened, for what we talked about yesterday that happened here in Michigan that has to do with 2020 and who we put in the main office. That link is on yesterday's live in the description. Yeah, I appreciate you, DCat. Hey, thanks for being here, Double OJ. I think we're good to go. Saltaregu, can we please get a mini horse? We'll see. We'll see. We gotta see how, we got Taekwondo Klaus. I don't know how he feels about them horses. And he's about as big as a mini horse. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, I appreciate you, T-Lawden. You have a good day as well. All right, I think we're good to go. I appreciate all of you hooligans being here. Like I said, we'll be gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Coffee with Hooligans. Whichever. So I'll see you guys, some of you guys later, and I'll see all of you guys tomorrow. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.